You know, that stage of your research when you just cannot focus, and no matter what you do, you cannot force your brain to think about what it should be thinking, which is your research, your progress, your hypothesis, your model, experiment, writing, and so on. And I personally found that part of the PhD not only exhausting, but also very frustrating, because I was kind of stuck in that loop of needing to do something and not doing it because I simply couldn't sit down and force myself to do it. And when I started to enter a little bit deeper into what was happening to me, because I was always like the overachiever, the person who was able to do everything and so on. So what was happening with me, I was really like shocked with my own lack of focus. I realized that the problem was that I just hit a wall. I just couldn't force myself to think about my research anymore, because wherever I would look, it was chaos. So I looked at one project, it was chaos. And the other project, it was chaos. The experiments were chaos. The model was chaos. And of course, my brain was protecting me from that because, no one wants to do that, okay? It's complicated, it's complex, you don't have any more solutions, and now you are forcing your brain to think about that same thing that is bringing you frustration. So if you are in that stage right now, I just want to tell you that the thing that helped me was actually sort of bring some structure to my work and put on my to-do list some tasks that were super specific. Not something like figure this out, figure the model out, but for example, clean this part of the code, or figure out how to do this single part of the code, or write one paragraph in the method section, or clean one figure. Put together one figure so that it has a title, it has the axis properly labeled, all of the things in the figure, so whatever the index is and so on. So those were tasks that were giving me some mental space to have the feeling that I'm moving forward, but in a direction that is predictable. Because that kind of predictability was actually the reason why I couldn't focus and why I couldn't progress with my research. So I hope that if you are now in that stage and you feel that everything is a mess, that nothing makes sense, that everything, wherever you look, there is something that needs to be done, but you just cannot force yourself to do it, I just want to invite you to put those tasks that you have on this never-ending to-do list and structure them in a way that is actually serving you. Just one small win, one small achievement, one small thing that you can do today to make sure that your progress tomorrow and the day after tomorrow is going to get that compound effect is often enough. But somehow we are always taught that you have to do everything, that everything has to be figured out, that everything has to be perfect and so on. But we know that this is not how it works, especially when you are pressed by deadlines, when there are a gazillion things happening during the PhD, not only your thesis, not only your research, but also your life, also the other things that have to do with your work and so on. So if you are in that stage right now, at the very end, at the finish line of your PhD, everything feels like chaos and you don't know how to even connect the dots between the things that you have, the result, the figures, the drafts, the code and so on, and you don't know how all of that is going to fit into a story that you can actually write and then submit, I want to invite you to schedule a completely free intro coaching call with me. I will leave the link down below, where we can discuss exactly that. What is that stepping stone that is actually preventing you from progressing in the last stage of your research, of your PhD, how you can solve it, and of course see if we are a good fit to work together, so I can guide you and help you during this process of writing and eventually organizing your research, writing about your research, and then finally submitting your thesis. So I hope that you found this video useful, and as always, see you in the next few days with another video. Bye bye.